Welcome back. Search and rescue missions are continuing in KZN following the devastating floods. More NGOs are joining in to assist wherever they can. To tell us about their efforts, Grant Tyson, founder of Search and Rescue South Africa, joins us for this conversation. Grant, thank you so much for your time this evening. I certainly know it's been a long week, long and treacherous and draining week, and it still continues. But talk to us a little bit about what the status is like on the ground so far in parts of KZN that you are particularly stationed at.
Good evening, Faith, and thank you for having us on the show tonight. Yes, so as you can see, I'm actually sitting in my vehicle. The rain is still coming down. There's lots of calls coming in for assistance from the communities. It's absolutely devastating, and to see the desperate needs of all the people out in the communities is, you know, it's really devastating. So from a ground search and rescue point of view, we're working with the SAPS Joint Operations Center. We get dispatched and tasked by them to go and assist in certain call-outs and taskings for the day. We're a voluntary organization. We work with the SAPS. We're a force multiplier. As a voluntary organization, we rely on the community donations and things that we get to help do what we need to do to get the relevant equipment, etc. On the ground at the moment, there's still rain coming down. There's still searches happening within the areas of concern on a daily basis, and the teams are going out. There were over 140 calls coming into the JOC today, where teams get dispatched. We broke up into 16 ground teams today, and the searches continue. So as the calls come in, they get logged on the 10111 call center. The teams then, the taskings get rolled down towards us. We then take up the taskings and we go and assist in the areas that get allocated. The volunteers are absolutely fantastic. The communities are supporting us. They're feeding a lot of the searchers. They're feeding the communities. They're distributing food. I know it doesn't seem like it's getting everywhere, but with the amount of resources that we've got on the ground, the guys are working hard. The teams are in good spirits. They're trying their absolute best to try and do what they can to help the communities at all times. Yeah. Obviously, there's unlimited resources, but they do what they can.
Yeah, I mean, Grant, I want us to labor a little bit on the resources perspective. I mean, as you said, you have volunteers that are working this, and in that light of it, they're volunteers that still have to cater to their own families and their own needs in that matter. So how are you doing from a resourcing, from a capacity perspective, especially as you continue with this work?
So, you know, we were tasked under the Western Cape Disaster Management, who was requested assistance by the KZN disaster management teams. we then put teams together from SARSA. We've got operations in every province. We had five provinces responding with us. We've got teams from Cape Town. We've got teams from the Free State. We've got teams from Mpumalanga, Limpopo, Gauteng. We mobilized. We got the call on Thursday. We mobilized. We were here by Friday. When we started operations, we hit the ground running. You can never have too many resources for this. Obviously, you can't just get every single volunteer in there because you can't put them at risk or danger. They are dangerous operations, and you need to be qualified and skilled and trained to actually do these types of missions, because you could end up getting into trouble. As you see, we've already, as the search community has already had losses from the SAPS side of things. So and these are qualified and trained people. The resources, they are stretched. They're working really hard. And the South African police have done an amazing job. I mean, from our perspective, being on the ground here and how they're organizing things has been fantastic. So we're just honored and privileged to be able to work with them and to be able to provide some services for the communities. And we, we'll use every resource we can as a volunteer. Our teams, from a SARSA perspective, take leave. They all got day jobs, but this is a passion for them, and they want to make sure that they can help wherever they can.
Yeah. Grant, how has the weather affected your ability to actually, have and conduct these search and rescues? I know you and I are having a conversation in your car simply because of the downpour that you're experiencing, but certainly that does put a certain spin on and a span in the works and being able to actually conduct that search and rescue. I'm sure it makes things just that much more difficult, that much more dangerous, as you were alluding to earlier. So how is this weather actually affecting the work that you're doing?
So, the rain doesn't stop the operations, but what it does do, it just adds an element of risk and danger. So, when there's more rain and more water coming down, it creates risky areas. The roads are already washed away. The communities have already lost their homesteads and they've washed down rivers. So when the waters start rising again, it makes it very difficult to help people. And also makes it very difficult to access the areas and the people that need the help. Because the roads and the infrastructure is washed away, the more rain that comes, it just makes it more difficult. But it doesn't stop. The team still go out in the rain. They've got all the right gear. Water doesn't worry them. It's just there's a higher risk element, which they obviously take heed of and they take care of so that they don't put themselves at risk or danger. But it keeps going. It doesn't stop them. It just adds more danger, but they are trained, they're highly trained search and rescue people, so they know what they're doing. But even so, it does get dangerous. Yeah. So the weather most certainly does hamper it. We're looking forward to the sun to start drying things out, repair work, and they need to start rebuilding these communities and the KZN area. So we're just looking forward to the sun to come out.
Well, all the best, Grant, as you continue with your efforts and being able to conduct the search and rescue. We certainly are right behind you as a country. Grant Tyson, founder of Search and Rescue South Africa.